What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today, I just wanted to hop on here with a quick live, just set it up a couple minutes ago. And I got some things I want to talk about winners and losers of OTAs. And there's not a guaranteed winner and a guaranteed loser because OTAs, especially how the Eagles did it, was so short, sweet, and just to get our feet wet. But we would discuss some of the moves made by Nick Sirianni, the players, the roster, and we're going to talk about this Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown having no chemistry. Oh my God, it's going to be so horrible because of OTAs. Before we get to the intro, like I've said from day one of OTAs, you can't get too high, you can't get too low. They are just OTAs.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? SB Kids in the building, Chelsea, Stephen Joyce, Martin, Eagle Clips, Philly Fan D, Sexton, Drew, a couple channel members in the building already. Today we discuss winners and losers of OTAs. And again, people in today's world take words so serious that I want to stress out there's no such thing as a big time winner and a big time loser in OTAs. It's just on the field action. That's it. It's to get the feet wet before July 26th training camp, where players now compete for their jobs. Who's going to start at linebacker? What is the roster going to look like behind Devontae Smith and AJ Brown at the wide receivers position? Who's going to really be that second safety to Anthony Harris? And does he automatically get the spot because he got a 1-year deal? We're going to discuss all that stuff. So when I say loser, it's not that big. And when I say winner, it's not like, yep, he's the best player on the Philadelphia Eagles, blah, 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 blah. And we will also discuss this chemistry issue that I think is being blown out of proportion because, once again, we circle back to it's only OTA. So one of my first winners of OTA is the guy I've been talking about the whole OTA, and that's Jalen Hurts. And of course, I'm not going to swear by his, by what he's been doing in this OTA, to throw in motion looking a little cleaner. The reports that he's throwing the ball 40 plus yards multiple times. I guess Elliott Shore Parks came out and said today that he was 20 of 25, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he had a few bombs. Again, this is 7-on-7, so there's no pads, there's none of this stuff, and I agree. But what I am going to take from it is that the progress that was being reported throughout the offseason is looking like it's there. Who knows to what level? And you won't understand that until training camp. And I don't even think you'll get the full authenticity of how good Jalen Hurts is through training camp. Look at Deshaun Watson over there in his OTAs throwing pick after pick after pick. That's not going to say that he won't be able to put it together. He had a long period of playing no football. With that being said, I think you just got to take all this with a grain of salt. You just got to make a puzzle of it, right? Jalen Hurts grew a little bit last year. The Eagles supported him with talent. Now you're going to look at the situation where, okay, he said he did this, he said he did that, and now we're hearing some on the field OTA just getting their feet wet type information that is co-signing it. And again, Nick Sirianni's going to say Jalen Hurts got better. Did he get worse? How much better did he get? And Nick Sirianni also said that he has to get better. With that being said, you still look at the facts, and some of the facts they'll say Dallas Goedert didn't have to say about his hitches, about getting the ball out faster, about the ball being crisper. Dallas Goedert could have said he's continuing to work, right? Dallas Goedert did not have to come out and say the key words that we've been hearing via the offseason, right? Dallas Goedert got his bag. He was living with Avonte Maddox. He was planning to move out and get his new place, which he's just done. He's lived with Avonte Maddox the whole time he's been in the league. Like, he don't have all the time to hear everything that Jalen Hurts is doing and just to co-sign off a lie. So there's things that have been seen. Again, just throwing the ball with your friend. You haven't thrown a ball with him for 5, 6 months. He comes out and he's throwing a little, whoa, where was this? I ain't feel this type of zip last year. Well, I've been working on some things. Look at it. So still things got to be put together, but Jalen Hurts is one of my winners in OTAs. Listen, chat, let me know a winner and a loser. And again, to circle this around, because too many people get their feelings hurt in today's society. There's no such thing as huge winners and losers in OTAs. It's just things that you want to expand upon via training camp. But let me know in the chat, winner, loser. Give me one of each, and we'll talk about it. I want to get your point of view. If I didn't want to get your point of view, I would have did a video. What's going on, Michael? John, Daniel Belfair in the building said flowers everywhere. I'm on StreamYard, so I won't be able to do the whole. I need to get it on StreamYard too, but for sure. Quezzy the Great in the building. Eagle Slayer in the building. What's up with all you guys? Philly fan D said Vermeil used to blow a horn when quarterbacks didn't deliver in 2.5 seconds in the pocket. That's a pretty good idea. Again, we have the players now to be a quick strike offense. I understand Quez Watkins is going to get behind a defense every once in a while, even a guy like Devontae Smith. But when you look at A.J. Brown and what he did in Tennessee and how it could translate to the Philadelphia Eagles is a quick strike offense. Yes, A.J. Brown went down the field and caught the ball deep at times. However, Tannehill, what was Tannehill doing with the Tennessee Titans? What were the Tennessee Titans doing? They were running the ball, setting up play action. And when they didn't set up play action and they didn't run the ball, it was quick strikes. A.J. Brown has so many highlights of him getting yards after the catch, beating a receiver in the middle, breaking a tackle, and making the necessary jukes / hit sticks to go ahead and get the first down and win one-on-ones and even double teams at sometimes when he was getting the ball under 5 yards or at the line of scrimmage. So that is also what the Eagles have to use, right? Devontae Smith is quick and nimble on his feet. So I like that strategies. It makes sense. That is one thing Jalen Hurts has to really soak in, staying in the pocket, getting the ball out in the floaty offense. And again, what did Dallas Goedert say? Hitches, right? Reading the field, being decisive, and I like it. I like it. Real quick, though, shout out to Duncan Wright, channel member. Plus, he's dropping a $5 super chat. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. I love the Eagles hype. I know it's hype and smack, but it makes Eagles football exciting. By the way, Eagles going to the Super Bowl. Listen, at the end of the day, this is the time to say it. And of course, when I say it, I'm a fan. If I'm sitting in a room with a Dallas Cowboy fan, just me and him, I'm not going to give him, I'm not going to say anything nice. I'm not going to say anything wrong about my team. Now, when I get on the mic and I dissect things and I look about the future, yes, I do that. But this is the time. Listen, Eagle Nation, we're going to be here in August, September, October, November, right? When we are here in August, there's not going to be no more dreaming. It's either going to be, oh, wow, we are good, let's talk about it, or, oh, wow, we overestimated what we are. But again, seeing a 9-win team when you were supposed to win 4 or 5 and having the type of offseason we've had, you have to be excited. Your excitement level can vary, no doubt about it. My man Duncan Wright said, hey, we here right now. It's going to be a long time before we even see training camp. We talking Super Bowl. And I ain't mad at the excitement coming from him. Now, again, I think Jalen Hurts is the key to the success the Eagles will have. Not saying he's the only thing, because there's a lot of moving parts. Jonathan Gannon, Nick Sirianni, right? He gave up play calling. How is Shane Steichen going to do, maybe with more responsibility as the play caller, if Nick Sirianni falls back? There's still a lot of things that need to be seen. We got new guys that got to gel. I agree. But I'm excited from what we have added, right? There's a reason why that the Eagles are in a lot of people's mouth. Some division rivals continue to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, cough, 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 the Cowboys. And we also have analysts and on-air speakers that can't stop speaking about us. So if they could be excited about us, why can't we? But we do got to keep in perspective that, we still have a young team all around, and we have to figure things out. Drew Johnson, I guess he's talking about one of his players that he said is a winner of OTAs, and that is Jordan Davis, and I absolutely agree. The social media team for the Philadelphia Eagles definitely featured him in a lot of the videos. I think because of Fletcher Cox not being there, Jordan Davis was the guy that most of the, reps got to. And again, we're not talking about reps with pads on. We spent the least amount of time with pads on and all that. But Jordan Davis was in the building. And I think one reason why he won OTAs is because he's losing weight. And when I made that video about him losing weight, I'm not talking about him losing weight in the sense of, well, now he can't be the D tackle we brought him here to be. He can't stop the run. When you are way bigger than everybody, right? You could lose weight and still be way bigger than everybody, but more agile and more productive in the sense of being able to stay on the field for 3 downs if we need him to, and which we will need him to post Fletcher Cox's career. And so I think OTAs, you got to call Jordan Davis a winner just because of the reps he was getting, the amount of work he was putting in, and the no slack mentality, right? He said he's here to do a job. He's here to be at his peak. And first round picks coming out of it, they can have an attitude, they can have that dog mentality, and no pun intended, Georgia dogs. They got a lot of dogs over there, Bulldogs for sure. Texas Eagles said Cowboys suck. I always agree with that 100%. Michael said, what do you think about the Minshew talk? Oh, yeah, I don't think it's really anything. I think it's, something that you can lead with as a caption, because now we're going to have very little news to talk about unless we, start analyzing the Eagles team. And that's why, I kept talking about the hype and what was going on via OTAs and everything, because that was only going to be a small portion of content for that type of time. Now we're going to be at the point where from now until July 20th, 26th exactly is when training camp starts. Now is when I'm going to start to do the videos of breaking down people's tape, talking about what can go right in certain situations, and like really diagnosing the linebacking room, this, that, and the third, comparison videos. This is when we talk about our team in general, right? Who do the Eagles have to who needs to step up on the Eagles team for it to be successful? Like, this is now when we make our own, well, not make our own content, but the news is going to come out slow. And now we just really look at this team at all 3 levels on both sides of the ball, coaching, everything you can talk about and think about. This is when we do that right now. ZT said, if we play with a chip on our shoulder, still we can if we play with a chip on our shoulder, still we can be some real dogs this year. Yeah, I mean, look, the Eagles can't go into it listening to the media talking about, oh yeah, they crowning us NFC East champs. Let's go out there and no. We got championship caliber players on this team. When you look at the two Alabama starters and the 2 possible Georgia starters, they both coming off a championship level play at their respected college. Now, I know this is the NFL and it's a different ball game, but that's their mentality. That's what they are. They're not going to take anything for granted. And I'm excited about having guys like that on our team with some of the previous champions, like the Fletcher Coxes, the Jason Kelce's of the world and whatnot. And so all that stuff comes into play, but the Eagles still did not win their division last year. And we got to keep that in mind. And although we're getting a lot of respect, the season is going to be the end all be all if we going to really earn that respect. And I'm looking forward to the season and just all the ups and downs that come with it. But I feel like with what we went out and got, there should be more ups than downs, in my opinion. Eagle has landed, said a loser of OTAs is Jalen Rager. Well, yeah, again, this is a time where it's not training camp. You're not fully fighting for your job. The pads ain't on, all that stuff. But, it would have been nice to see Jalen Rager more involved in OTAs. I think he missed a couple days too. And again, football play, I'm not going to defend him at all because he hasn't done anything in a couple years to get defended. But the young man keeps going through a lot of personal problems off the field. And I really do think that's keeping him from even getting to his potential, whether that's something that he'll never see in Philly. And it's going to be very hard to, because let's be real, the NFL is a business and we got 2 wide receivers who are wide receiver ones. And we got guys behind them in Quez and Pascal and even Greg Ward, who's always showed reasons why they should be on the field for their respective teams and our teams. And I think it's just like a huge uphill battle for Jalen Rager. Training camp is going to be the end all be all for where he's even slated on the depth chart. But again, OTAs would have been nice for him to just have more of a positive vibe in OTAs. And again, this is all going off what was reported and stuff, and things could have got missed because Jalen Rager is definitely not a fan favorite. But again, losers and winners of OTAs it's a fine line because you're just getting your feet wet. It's organized team activities. That's it, right? No pads, especially the Eagles, right? You could have had 11 on 11s. You could have put some of the pads on. But what we did was what we did last year, which last year I questioned Nick Sirianni, a first-time head coach. I said, whoa, I want to see these guys on the field. I want them to be ready, not to be unprepared. But guess what? We had one of our healthier seasons in the last 5 years. So kudos to that. And you might as well run back that same recipe. I can't be mad at it at all. 215 Hawk 215 said, get them likes up. Listen, if you haven't hit the like button, hit it. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. Drew said that's why I mentioned him for all the reasons. We're talking about Jordan Davis. I agree. Sexton said Smith was a winner. I definitely agree there too. If you have, again, we heard the bull crap chemistry problems with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, which we will discuss in a little bit. I don't think that's a real thing at all. But Devontae Smith was a winner, not because of the extra work he got with Jalen Hurts, but because AJ Brown, a bona fide number one, a guy who has now secured the bag, $100 million, looks over and watched Devontae Smith in OTAs and said, this guy's not a wide receiver two. He's a wide receiver one. Whether the CB1 goes against me or the CB1 goes against him, one of us is going to get a CB2. One of us is going to get easier coverage. They're not going to be able to stop both of us. So Devontae Smith is winning because you got a guy who's already been established as a two-time 1,000-yard receiver looking across and saying, this guy is either as good at me or right there with me, and he's in year two. So I agree. I would say that Devontae definitely won. Marina Sands said the reason Davis is the winner is because of the reps that he needed much more than the other D tackles. I agree 100%. Again, the focus was on him. Fletcher Cox, being an 11-year veteran, stayed to himself the majority of the OTAs. You don't have to go to OTAs because it's just getting your feet wet, right? And so I do like that Fletch showed up the last day to say, hey, guys, I'm here. We got one more year on this contract, but we're going to do everything in our power to push us over the hump and get that playoff win. We're not talking about, listen, playoffs has to happen, right? We just did that in year one of the new regime with Hurts and Sirianni. We shouldn't be talking about anything less than playoffs for sure. But I agree. Davis, Smith are both winners. Let me know, again, keep talking in the chat, winners, losers. I'm going to go over a couple of mine. One of my winners is Marcus Epps. They saw the work that's been putting in. You know, he's getting more press conferences. He's getting one-on-one with Dave Spaderos. It looks like the Eagles are really pushing the narrative that he's going to get the first opportunity to play alongside Anthony Harris. So with that being said, a loser would be Kevon Wallace, which was a draft pick, a recent draft pick. And the winner would be Marcus Epps because I do believe he'll be starting alongside of Anthony Harris. And he showed in small sample sizes that he can belong in the NFL. We saw him getting reps. He's out there playing. And he was there every single day, not missing no time. Again, we saw other players miss for personal reasons. And again, this is organized team activities. It's not the end all be all. Training camp is a step up. And then again, nowadays, the Eagles prioritize the team training camp when we're going to go play with Cleveland and Miami, even over the preseason, but nothing is over the regular season, of course, but you can only analyze and talk about so much. And Marcus Epps has done everything from a put yourself in the right position via what you did last year, talk about it in the way that shows that you are not taking anything for granted and then going out there and being there every day and doing what you needed to do. So I think Marcus Epps definitely won so far. Where am I at? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Dante Code said Britton Covey is a winner. And I gotta say, yes. I think if you look at all the wide receivers, right? All the extra wide receivers, because I do think right now, if we're just gonna take this all in a vacuum, it's AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, one of Quez Watkins or Zach Pascal. Then you got the other one of them. That's four right there. And then you got to see between Greg and Jalen Rager, but you got an abundance of other wide receivers, right? Deion Kane, John Hightower caught a couple balls, but Britton Covey, and I'm not saying his right name as probably right because I'm horrible with names, not hate. I'm the worst in the world. We got that one sprinter too from Oregon, Devin Allen, I think it is. He's made a lot of moves, right? Brian Westbrook has talked highly of him. The Eagles have used him in an abundance of ways, in breaking routes, out breaking routes, deep balls, slants. They even use him on special teams. They're trying to find a way to get this guy on the field, on the team, on the roster, because they think that they can use him in a certain way, right? One of the other players that we try to slip on the roster because of the speed and the athleticism and just the explosiveness was Adrian Killins, AK-46, AK-47. I'm not sure what his number was, but Adrian Killins. And that didn't work out, right? It did not work out. But Britton Covey's trying to find his way on this roster any way he can. Mrs. Bergang, what's up with you? What's up with you? Saying what's up to everybody in the building. Uh, Much love. ZT said this is the best wide receiver duo we had since Macklin and Deshaun Jackson. That is 100% facts. I can't. I mean, it might even be one of the best. I mean, again, when you look at when we had T.O., who was T.O.'s running mate, right? T.O. was better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You're talking about one of the best wide receivers in the game. We're talking about at that time. Not saying A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith can't get better than him, but that's a tall tree to climb. T.O., one of the ones to ever play that position. With that being said, who was his running mate? So when you look at T.O. being up here, but A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith being above, who? The Todd Pinskins of the world, the Greg Lewises of the world. So, yeah, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Macklin was a nice little duo with Michael Vick. And now we got one for Jalen Hurts, who needs to take that step. TJ, what's good with you, my guy? Chilling. Suzanne said, if the Eagles go to the Super Bowl this year, I'm sending you a case of Yingling. Hey, I'll be so gone that I'm just gonna. I appreciate you, but yes, first of all, Eagles. I think this is going to be a terrific season. I'm so ready for the ups and downs, and I know there's going to be downs, right? There's no such thing as the perfect season. The New England Patriots tried to do it, and what happened? They got beat by a 9-7, slipped into the playoffs Giants team. So, I just want us to learn from our mistakes, continue to grow, and show resiliency whenever we do falter, right? Jalen Hurts has been a player who does that a lot, has a bad game and comes out and shows next game that, he has that baller mentality, that winner mentality, and he's not a quitter. Cam Foster, 18, said, Dean, we talking about winner or loser. His snaps, there hasn't been anything crazy about it. But just the narrative, right? The talking point of Dean, just a couple short clips of him working out prior to OTAs and with OTAs, he looks good in the sense of one of the reasons why he supposedly fell was he was still injured or could be injured or blah, blah, blah. And so I think him just clearing up that narrative and reporting to OTAs and being there day after day and putting in the work and showing his speed and his athleticism and just running the drills gives him a W, because I do think the Eagles are looking for him to take over that linebacking room. Davion Taylor, last day of OTA, 7-on-7s, picked off Gardner Minshew, took it back to the crib. That's a guy that should be coming on the channel in the next couple of weeks or so. We're trying to iron out the dates. He has a lot to prove, though. Again, talented kid, upside, rough childhood in the sense of not being able to play ball as much as he could because of his religious beliefs, his parents' religious beliefs, but showed some quickness and ability. It's just the injury bug. We got to see. Zach said we haven't heard much from Dean. Do you think he makes a splash in mini camps? And as we just talked, sorry about missing it. I think Dean, it's weird again. These OTAs were fun in a sense to report and hear some of the things that went along, right? Seeing the drills, talking about who's there, what's going on. We only had 2 actual sessions of 7-on-7. But again, Nick Sirianni runs his camp differently. If you are the Cleveland Browns, you got a lot more to report on. Cleveland was running multiple 11-on-11s. They had pads on. You've seen people flying around making moves. Now, again, nobody got hurt. Kudos to them. But Nick Sirianni is all about the players' health and safety. And again, as a fan, as a guy who wants to see more, wants to learn more about the team, and also believes that repetition breeds success and also is a way for, I always thought, to keep you healthy, right? If you're used to it, your body doesn't, hamstrings don't pull and all that. But Nick Sirianni did what he did last year and decided to play it safe. 7-on-7s only, not too much 11-on-11, sticking with the fundamentals, and it paid off. So I can't be mad at it at all. Gang 31 in the building. What's up with you, my guy? Another Eagles content, great Eagles content out there. Fast said Fletch should retire, man. He's Peters from 3 years ago when he should have retired early. I disagree in the sense that Peters just couldn't stay healthy. Fletch has never showed us a season where he was just injured after injury after injury. He's lost a step in the pass rush ability, no doubt about it. But still, it goes overlooked what he does in the run game, and I still will swear by it. That is one of the videos we will do this offseason. Just Fletch closing up rushing lanes still at an elite level, top 5 level in the game. His pass rushing abilities has slipped. But again, being asked to drop back in coverage, do this, that, and the third. You heard Fletch talk today, the last day of OTAs, about how much more comfortable he is in this scheme, not only because he's in year 2, but Jonathan Gannon understands who Fletcher is more, and they have came to an understanding. Jonathan Gannon switched up how he was calling it the latter part of the year. And I do believe that once Fletcher's gone, we're going to go to a 3-4 defense, which I think is going to make this Eagles team even better because the pass rushing linebackers that we have, I believe Davion Taylor could be a guy who can hit the blitz, who hit the gap, go off the edge. Hassan Reddick's made his career off that. And then you got Nakobe Dean, who offers that same type of, find the gap, hit the gap, go get the quarterback if need be. Eagles swag said, this is our time, man. I agree. Special teams. What you want to know about special teams? Michael, what is your take on special teams? Eagle Eyes Landon says Smitty was out there showing up, slaying Bradbury. Definitely a winner. Yeah, and again, he also got the respect of AJ Brown to, physically say out there that, he's a wide receiver 1. When you got a wide receiver come in here and establish that, we really don't know who the wide receiver 1 is, you definitely got to give credit there. And then you look at it like, Devontae Smith is only getting better. And a lot of people, still are not believers in Jalen Hurts, and that's their own prerogative. But, their success is hinging off the play calling and Jalen Hurts taking that step, which, at this time, I'm confident to say that my level of confidence in it is higher because things are starting to come in together as a puzzle. Again, you can't just take OTAs like, oh my God, 50-yard bomb. He's MVP. No, but what you can say is we heard the reports that he was working on this, that, and the third. We've seen the throw motion just look a little bit better. Now we're starting to see this, that, and the third. So it's coming together, right? It still can be coming together slowly. That is what training camp and preseason and the regular season will show us. This whole year will show us. But you can't deny that, what was said, what was being reported has been, his top priority in the offseason. And it's shown. Tyler said, I do love BG outside contained. Def missed him last year. Yeah, I think that goes overlooked too, right? BG made his first Pro Bowl not last year, the year before that. He gotten close to double-digit sacks multiple times, never really got it. And they say, man, he's a defensive end. He can't get double-digit sacks. Why do Eagle fans love him so much? 2 reasons. He always comes clutch when you need him. That's just something BG does. Matter of fact, 3 reasons. He always comes clutch when you need him, which he does. He is one of the best run-stopping defensive ends in the game, right? The Eagles have had a great run defense for multiple years, 5-6 years. And it's because of what Fletch and BG has done for a half a decade. More than a half a decade, but I'm saying when we have been one of the best run-stop defensive D-lines. It goes overlooked because you want all them flashy sacks and whatnot, but there's teams that still run the ball, 3rd and 3s. And you stop them on 3rd and 3 because they ran 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. That is as effective as a sack on 2nd down, 100%, because it's getting them off the field most likely, depending on the field position and what coach is calling the plays. And so, yeah, BG coming back is big. That is another player I think won. BG, he's back early. Well, not early because he got hurt week 1. But one of the reasons why I think Brandon Graham has won, is a winner of OTAs, is because he's out there at his age, running with these young guys, getting the chemistry, knowing that his playing time might decrease because Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Milton Williams might play on the outside a little bit, and Reddick might be used as that pass rusher on that side, standing up as a joker. That being said, he's out there proving that he is going to give it his all, and it looks like the Eagles letting him run wild in OTAs. All plans should be that he's the day 1 starter, whether it's Brandon Graham on the one side, Reddick on the other side, and then you rotate Sweat and Derek Barnett in, that still gives you quality depth at the line. And then you got the three amigos in the middle with Fletch, Hargrave, and we already know Jordan Davis is going to be a problem. I've been saying it since day one. The weight loss, his pass rush ability is going to be overlooked, and he's going to thrive with this defensive line. I really, truly believe it. Fast said, let's see. Fletch got me, got what he got. I'm hyped for our defense. Let's go. Yeah, man. Look, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and act like he can stop. He's Aaron Donald or anybody at the D tackle via the pass rush, but for sure, he gets overlooked. Stopping the run. And now we got some pass rushers. So, maybe things open up for him. He understands where he's at in his career, right? He said it in OTAs when the Eagles released him. He got a couple phone calls for Fletcher Cox being so washed up. And I'm not really saying it that you're just saying it fast out loud. It's been actually a narrative out there via the national media, Philly sports talk radio, that Fletch is just not who we thought he was. But why, when he got released, knowing what his price tag was, he got multiple calls ASAP, but he's an Eagle. Through and through, he's an Eagle, and he's going to give us that one more year, and let's see what happens. Both him and both Fletch and Kelsey, shout out to them for just being standout members of the city and his team and Super Bowl champions. That's why I could wear this hat. Shout out to K Carrington, said, hey, Philly Mike, thank you for the stream. Thank you for being up in the stream again. Shout out to the 118 people in the building. Hit that like button if you haven't done it. I haven't done an Eagles live stream by myself in a long time, and I didn't give nobody any warning. It was literally 7:55, 7:45. No, it was like 7:55, and I literally just went on StreamYard. I said, stream 8:20, boom, and set it up. So shout out to the people who are coming through. Normally when I stream, I give you guys some time, and I try to do around 7 o'clock, but we're going to have a lot more streams because there's a lot of things I want to talk about. We're going to be doing call-ins where I bring you guys on the show, channel member call-ins or channel member roundtables as well. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. I appreciate all the love and appreciate all the support. AK Eagle Podcast, what's up with you? Appreciate you being in here. He said, what's good, brother? Hope all is well. It is. Let's see where I left off at. Drew Johnson, channel member, said heavy 3-4 with Fletch, Davis, and Hargrave. Man, I mean, that's big. That's big time. You don't got as much speed there, but the power and the ability to take up space is there with that lineup if it comes into fruition. Toxin said, do you think we should keep Fletch around after retirement? I mean, it's always good to look into seeing what these players want to do post their career. We have had some guys come in and be, key contributors on the sideline for sure. It's always good to see, but I also want to say this though, just because you're the greatest player don't mean you're always going to be the best advisor / coach when you are just doing that as a solo gig and not being able to play anymore. I think that gets overlooked sometimes. People are like, Brian Dawkins, what a great Eagle. He should come in and be the coach. I'm not saying he can't coach. I just do think that, just because you were great at something don't necessarily mean you're going to be a good coach. It's a different mindset, different attitudes. Not everybody. It's not for everybody. But that goes to say that, there are guys. Look at Deion Sanders and what he was able to do in his career, and now what he's doing for Jackson State, I believe it is. Just out there grinding and getting these young boys right for sure. So we'll see. Forrest said, yo, Philly Mike, Super Bowl bound, right? Hey, why not? We at the point right now where we can say whatever we want. I think we can do it, to be honest. We were 7-9 in year one under Dougie P, and then went all the way next year, right? So 7-9 under Dougie P, 9-8 under Nick Sirianni. I mean, the sky's the limit. I do think that it depends on Jalen Hurts, and I gotta see the step. Right now, I think this team is built around him, that if Jalen Hurts is who he was last year, well, playoffs are still an option. If Jalen Hurts got a little bit better, well, winning a playoff game is definitely an option. If Jalen Hurts gets only a little bit better by week 1, which what we saw this off season, OTAs and soon to be training camp. And then week 2, week 5, week 8, we're starting to see the real growth, the real development, the things being put together. Well, then now expectations continue to rise. But it's going to be tough. Jalen Hurts, no matter what we want to say, well, this is year 2 starting, year 3 in the NFL. He is only 23 years old. He does have things that he has to work on, like he's come out of college with a lot of upside and a lot of he can do this and that, but he's also came out of college with this is what he got to work on in the NFL. Then he gets to the NFL, and then you see it more blankly. Well, this is exactly what he got to work on in the NFL. And so this is the season where we start to see these things put together. I just want to caution you guys that week 1 versus the Lions, if he throws an interception in the first quarter, you can't say, get him out. He threw an interception. Everybody throws picks. There's not a quarterback that don't throw a pick in a season. And although he threw an interception early and it's a bad taste, he can go now 6 games straight without an interception. So it's a wait and see process. Judge and criticize and critique as a team, as a performance. But I think that, we can't just come out here thinking that a week 1 against the Detroit Lions, he's going to come out here and just drop 42 points and be like, hold my beer. It'd be beautiful if that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm not going to kill him if it does. If it don't happen, I just need to see that steady growth for sure. Kate Campbell said, "Bro, I've been here in the cut." Shout out to my guy Kate Campbell, always coming through. Backyard Board Podcast channel member said, "Chilling with Big Mike. Appreciate you for tuning in. Much love and respect." Kevin Thomas said, "Seeing how OTA turns out, who wins in training camp, wide receivers or cornerbacks?" Training camp is where it gets tough, right? OTAs is different, especially the way the Eagles do it, right? 7-on-7s, no pass rush, no this, no that. It favors the wide receiver. You have there's no eternal clock for the quarterback. Everybody gets open eventually. This is going to be very, very, very tough. I'm expecting big things from Slay and Bradbury, and a lot of people who are down on Bradbury. I just don't understand why. Is he better than Slay? No. But we got a very good quality cornerback coming in there to play CB2 to Slay, who over the last 2 years leads the leagues in interceptions / forced incompletions with 39. Trevon Diggs being number 2 with 38. He had a huge year last year. His rookie season was pretty good, but that's why James Bradbury is ahead of him. But this is coming from an organization that was trash while James Bradbury was there both years. 2020, James Bradbury was supposedly good. 2021, he was supposedly bad, but he combined for the most forced interceptions, forced incompletions / interceptions in the last 2 years. I think that's going to be a really good team. But to answer your question, I'm always going to favor the wide receivers because I think it's a passing league, especially in training camp. You're going against your own. So you don't want to be as physical, right? Imagine if Slay gets Devontae Smith hurt, knock on fake wood. What would that would do? It's not going to happen. So I think a play where Slay and or Bradbury can go the extra mile for it, they're not going to do it against their own. So I'm going to give the upper hand to the wide receivers, and that's just kudos to what we built here in Philly, right? Our wide receivers are legit. Our corners are legit. That's going to be very good battle. Iron sharpens iron, but when it's all said and done, I think that, of course, the wide receivers are going to win just based off practice. We talking about practice? Practice? Truancy said these Twitter trolls are pissing me off. This team is different. You can feel it. The NFC East is about to get turned on its head. Can't wait to collect the receipt from these haters. And exactly, listen, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me at Philly_Mike25. I talk Eagles. I talk Sixers. I talk regular life. You can hit me up on my DMs. I try to respond to as many people as possible. Actually, my DMs are flooded right now. I got a lot of people I got to return messages to. With that being said, though, yeah, every once in a while, I love coming at the NFC East. Giants, Cowboys, Washington football team. Even though the Giants and Washington have been quiet, it's been mainly the Cowboys thinking that they are something to be worried about. That they are something to be worried about. SSB Kid said Hurts went 20 of 25 for 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I opened this live stream talking about that. Yes, sir. Again, this is 7-on-7, so it favors the offense, no pass rush, but it's still good to see, right? Could you imagine if he was playing bad in practice? See, and that's where people get mad when I say, look how good Jalen Hurts is doing. Well, Philly, Mike, it's practice. Of course he's doing good. Not necessarily. You could still do bad. That's a really, really bad sign. But let's just take this sign as I'm glad he's doing good. He should be doing good. It's practice. It favors the offense. But it's not nothing that you can just say is just don't talk about it because it's been the receipts, as Truancy said. It's been the puzzle that's been put together. The stuff that's being reported he's working on is coming into fruition. So we're going to talk about it until the wheels fall off. Witch King said, did you hear Ryan Fitzpatrick say one of the players he hated playing against most is Fletch? I didn't hear it, but I would agree. A lot of quarterbacks love to step up in the pocket, right? They love to step up in the pocket, clear the edges, right? You see when the D line attacks, right? The edges, if they're speed guys, they get up the field on the side. So scrambling quarterbacks or even a little bit mobile quarterbacks, as Ryan Fitzpatrick has some, feet movement. You can't get outside, so you step up. When you got a guy like Fletcher Cox for a decade who's just collapsed the middle of your pocket, that's not fun. That's probably the scariest thing for a quarterback is stepping up and knowing that the biggest guy on the line is about to fall on you, right? So I definitely would agree that, guys who can disrupt the middle, especially if you're not like the Michael Vicks or the Kyle Murrays of the world, it is definitely rough. Mullet Mayhem said, agree or disagree? We have an easy schedule. We should make the playoffs. We should be a top team with one of the best records in the league. Agree. I agree. When I did my schedule release, I had us winning 12 games. I honestly can say that we should automatically win double digits, right? If this team is healthy and just with the additions, right? Even if Jalen Hurts is not the world beater or the big stepper or blah 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 blah, you win 9 games. Your schedule is as easy, if not easier. And now, right, your schedule is easier. And now you added all that stuff. You should win at least 10 games. I have 11 or 12. And, if things come into fruition as we've been talking about, then yeah, we should have one of the best teams in the NFC. Packers, Rams, Bucks. I think they're teams that are going to have a good record. I think Dallas will have double-digit wins, although they will be behind us. But yes, I would say agree on that, unless somehow the wheels fall off. RB says, South Tex, you don't believe. Oh, yeah. That's going at it. Y'all going at it. Dante said, fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. My man singing the whole song. He want me to sing the whole song. I hear him, though. I ain't mad at it, though. I ain't mad at it at all. Ghost TGTV said, I'm guessing the Eagles record 12-5, best team in the NFC. They're a hike. They're a hike in safety. Yeah, 12-5 is definitely a record I can see us getting. Again, this team has upgraded in a lot of ways. And when you upgrade with already a team that still retained veterans, right? That added talent youthfully and veteran wise, that have now a sense of camaraderie, a sense of now I know what not they just know this playbook and they know what is asked of them. They feel each other better, right? Nick Sirianni can get more out of these guys now because maybe Nick Sirianni can push him a little harder, right? You got to think when a new coach comes in that is as young as Nick Sirianni and they'll have the experience of winning and blah 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 blah. These are grown men, right? The 23-year-olds, the 24-year-olds, that's one thing. But the 31-year-olds, the 32-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, the 29-year-olds, when it's like you have to, the coach got to earn the players' respect before they can, not just discipline them, but before they can ask, before they can talk, before they can yell and scream and just like throw all the emotions of a sideline, a coaching job, a playing job all together, right? It's the respect thing. And I just think that year 2 for any quarterback coach combination, any coach team combination is always going to be better unless you're one of them coaches that suck. If you sucked year 1, you might suck year 2, right? But if you made something happen in year 1 and now you really earned these guys' trust. These guys read the newspaper. They didn't believe it, though. When Darius Slay, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith read that, what? We're supposed to win only 3 to 4 to 5 games. But they still heard what they talked about. Nick Sirianni heard, dang, I'm a first-time head coach, and they're only expecting us to win 3, 4, 5 games. I might get fired. This is Philadelphia. Well, then you go out there and win 9 games, get to the playoffs, and now things start to change. You start to look at yourself different. You feel different. The locker room treats you different. These guys look at each other and say, we were down. We were 2-5. We were 2-5, and we finished 2-5, and we finished 9-8. Do the math. 2-5, 9-8, 7-3, 7-3 down the stretch. There were some easy games, no doubt about it. But we saw what this team is in the deepest part. We saw the roots. We really did see the roots. And so at the end of the day, now that you're going to battle week 1 with a more talented roster and a more ready team, and a team that when I look to the left, we're down by 14 points and it's halftime and we're in the locker room. The young team, the first year Devontae Smith, the first year starting Jalen Hurts, the first year head coach Nick Sirianni looks around and says, well, guys, we're down 14. We got it. Now you look at that you're down 14 and you believe in the guys in the locker room. You believe in yourself a lot more. And, it is what it is. I'm not trying to get all rah coach speak and, Rudy and like, remember the Titans, bonding and just like Coach Carter. It's a basketball movie, but like, we get to finish the happy ending and they triumphed. But there's just a lot that goes on. And when you battle with the guys, and this is the ultimate team sport, more than basketball, more than baseball, more than hockey, you got to rely on your brothers. And that's why doing things like the baseball games and, the extracurriculars is big. Before we get back to the winners and losers, which I need y'all to let me know in the chat, give me some winners of the OTAs, some losers. We already went through a bunch. Shout out to the 171 people in the building. Appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out to Notification Gang. The first 50 to 75 people that were rocking with me, y'all know y'all got that notification button hit. Other people, y'all should be hitting it too. It helps the content. And, you stay with me up to date. Videos and or live streams. We'll be doing call-ins and extra stuff. But let me get y'all take on this. The whole narrative that OTAs, you really didn't get to see Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown. The chemistry is blah, 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 blah. Stop it. Again, as much as I talked about Jalen Hurts and this, that, and the third, OTAs or organized team activities. The best stuff that happens for your team, you can't go blow it out of proportion. And the worst stuff, you can't do it. And it wasn't that they had lack of chemistry. It was just that there wasn't much. They did 2 out of all the OTA days. They did 2 sessions of 7-on-7s. Jalen Hurts threw 25 passes. That's it. Check this out. One of the days with the 7-on-7s, A.J. Brown wasn't even there. The last day of OTAs, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith did not show up for whatever reason. It is what it is. Training camp, that won't be happening. With that being said, so Jalen Hurts threw 14 passes and he didn't complete one to A.J. Brown. Whoop-de-freaking-do. That has nothing to say about their chemistry and what they're going to be able to do on and off the field. It is still a question of how good is Jalen Hurts and how much will the play calling and Jalen Hurts' arm allow Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert to eat? That's still a question. But the question, the chemistry of guys who worked out in the offseason time after time after time, just because in all the days of OTAs, one time they squared up. And one time, Jalen Hurts overthrew A.J. Brown. And one time, Jalen Hurts threw a pass to A.J. Brown that was broken up by Slay. That, oh, yeah, it's over. We gave this guy $100 million and he don't even have chemistry. Really? Come on now. You know what I mean? The narrative is being blown out of proportion. People are nervous about the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's my fun. That's what got me really excited for sure. Wayne Webb said, Cowboys fear us. That's a form of respect. Team is different now. Cowboys got worse, paid Dak all that bread. Now they're going to sting for 5 years. I think Dallas is going to win double-digit games this season. I just think that we're going to win more double-digit games. Emily said Devontae Smith is definitely a winner. When you get appointed as a wide receiver 1 by a wide receiver 1 on your team, that is a big sign right there. Plus, Devontae's been out there cooking in OTAs. And again, I'm not going to be too high of it, but not too low. Organized team activities, you could only get so much from it. And Nick Sirianni really kept it plain and relaxed due to the health and safety of these players. Jose said, what up, Philly Mike? Are you surprised that Eric Bieniemy did not get a whole head coaching position? I'm surprised and I'm not surprised. I'm surprised in the sense of he deserves it. I think he's a good coach. I advocated for him to come here at that time. Not surprised because, once you get passed over 1-2 times, then it starts to be, why did you get passed over? What's wrong with you? What's going on? And, he had some, back in the day, problems and whatnot. But, this league is wild. You see what a guy like Mike Tomlin's doing, who never had a losing season, and I don't understand why teams wouldn't be willing to go out there and just hire guys who know their job. Forget everything else. Forget what color you see them through, how you see them. Guys who win the job, right? Best man or woman for the job at this point. I think there's too much sexist and just blinders from these owners. You got to think though. One thing about the owners is they're all 70 plus, right? It's horrible. It's horrible. But we see time and time again that people get passed up for no reason. For no reason. And then the worst thing is when you see a guy like Joe Judge, right? I think everybody can say, even Giant fans will say that Joe Judge was an absolute disgrace. And he comes as a special team guy under the Bill Belichick mantras. Ha, ha, ha. Trash. Get him out of here. I actually wish he was still the head coach because the Giants are a terrible organization and they got a ways to go. They had a good draft, but they got a ways to go. But part of the reason why the Giants have been so bad were because David Settleman, as they call him, he was trash. He was part of the reason why this team could not get over 500 for 5 straight years. He's out. Who knows what this new GM will do? And then every coach they have hired in the last 5 years have been bad. You're talking about Joe Judge. You're talking about Jason Garrett as your OC. You're talking about McAdoo as your head coach. Horrible. But now they got a guy in Brian Daboll who I'm not going to sit here and act like he's bad. Before we got Nick Sirianni, I kind of wanted the Eagles to look at him. So I'm not going to sit here and lie. And so now I think they got somebody in charge up top and at the head coaching position that could turn him around, but not this year. Not quite this year. So, I'm actually upset that the Giants woke up from that 5-year, however long Dave Gettleman was there, nightmare, because I loved it. Wayne Webb said Eric B should be a coach for real. I agree. Forrest said AJ to learn the offense. He's real good, but young himself. Exactly. Listen, let's talk about it. Wide receivers don't get into their prime until they're 25, 26, actually 26, 27. Think about the wide receivers. T.O. was in his prime his first year with us. Tariq Hill was in his prime the last 2 years. Stephon Diggs was in his prime the last 2 years. D. Hops was in his prime the last 2 or 3 years. What ages were these wide receivers? 26, 27, 28, even 29. The age of 26, 27, and 28 is when you're in your prime. This man's 24. He's putting up these numbers in a run-first offense. He's putting up touchdowns at an alarming rate. He's 24. As much as we want to say this is who A.J. Brown is, he has an opportunity to be better. We just got a guy who in a rushing offense cracked over 1,000 yards twice, gets yards after the catch, can catch the deep ball for actually what I think a reasonable price, who's only 24, and he can get better? Come on now. Hey, Andrew Hernandez, what's up with you? It's only water. It's only water. It's only water. We don't do that during the week. If this was Saturday and I was live with you guys, I'd be drinking some Crown Rizzy. I don't drink clear liquor. I'm a, what's it called? I'm a whiskey guy. Whiskey for sure. Sexton said, and Philly Mike, A.J. Brown told Jay, oh, yeah, yes. He did tell him to overthrow me. He said, if I clear Slay, overthrow me, I'll run under it. And so, yes, nothing crazy. But again, he said, put it out there. He still wanted him to overthrow him in the sense that Slay can't get it, but I might be able to. And it was a little bit overthrown. So, credit what he said and how Jalen respond. I agree. He overtold him, overthrow him. At the end of the day, I think 2 passes that were targeted to A.J. Brown that didn't get to him is just a horrible narrative being pushed that they don't have chemistry. Watch game 1. You know what the funny thing is? A.J. Brown game 1 is going to have 9 catches. Maybe not 9. He's going to have 7 catches for a buck 11 and a tub easy, something along them lines. Bryce said AJ Brown is a run block, can run block really good too, a good blocker. I agree. And we will run the ball, even though I do believe we're going to be a lot more pass heavy. Brian said Kobe Dean reminds me uh black personality, skill, and heart. Listen, Kobe Dean is going to be, I think, the engine of this defense for years to come. I'm excited for him. ZTV said T.O. was a dog at San Fran, though. Yeah, he was. He was. I swear, his last year of San Fran was entering his prime. His first year with Philly was the next year in his prime. But again, a lot of wide receivers' primes are between the ages of 25 and 28. 25 and 28. Look it up. Look what how old Diggs is. Look what he did the last 2 years. Look at the age grouping of when why would he really take over? Not saying the young ones can't do it. We saw Jamar Chase. We seen Justin Jefferson. We seen DK Metcalf. We seen Devontae Smith and what he's going to do next year too, which I'm projecting, but I agree. Eagle Eyes Landon said 163 people watching, 84 likes. Get those likes up. Y'all lazy beep. Yeah, listen, we need 16 more likes. I need 16 people to hit that like button. It's free, it's easy, it don't cost a thing. And it helps push this stream out to other Eagle fans. We just cracked over 22,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. And again, I don't normally listen. I haven't been live streaming in a while. I used to live stream at least twice a week, every week. I've been dropping videos nonstop, but I haven't been live streaming. We are going to get back to a live streaming schedule. We are going to be having people on the channel. We're also going to be having some solos. We're going to be having Davion Taylor on very shortly. Stay tuned. Hit that notification bell because we are going to be live streaming a lot more and really trying to get your take. We're going to be doing call-ins and all that stuff. With that being said, let me get them 16 likes to get this over 100 real quick. Again, I threw this stream out 15, 20 minutes before I went live. I really didn't have planned to do a video today because I was very, very busy, but then I caught some free time and I wanted to get up with you guys and talk about it. Isaiah said Devontae may have a 200-plus yard game just because AJ's presence. Agreed. And AJ said it himself. He got two wide receiver ones. Whether I get the cornerback one, he gets the cornerback one, somebody's going to have the cornerback too. You can't double team us. You can't bracket us the same way. We're going to eat, both of us. Both of us. And I agree 100% about that. Forrest, I love Smitty route running, but not better than Harrison yet. My man said pumped for Smitty. One of the best picks we have ever had. Our very own Marvis Harrison, but a better route runner. Listen, Harrison can run some routes. I think that the wide receivers that are being developed at Alabama, though, they're coming out a little differently. Look at Ridley. Julio was a nice route runner. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy. Alabama wide receivers can run routes for sure. Still though, when you look at Harrison, you think of his prime, right? If Forrest is saying Harrison as a young age versus Devontae Smith at a young age, I would probably co-sign that. But it's a time to be hyped for sure. Spell check, Brian Dawkins. Y'all say, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know if that was a reference. I just said, I read what you said, but I was understanding what you were saying at the end. Being just a leader of this defense. And I agree. I don't know how much of a leader he's going to be in year one, but I think a leader is who he's meant to be. And I'm excited for it. SSB Kid said a big loser is Milton Williams via OTAs. I mean, he's definitely took, having Jordan Davis on this team, getting Hassan Riddick, bringing back Derek Barnett, knowing that Milton Williams can play inside, outside, it seems to be that he's a loser in OTAs. But it's hard for me to classify him. I don't think he's a winner. I don't think he was featured at all any time this OTA. I don't necessarily think he's a loser. I think the Eagles still have big plans for him. Maybe not so much in the middle anymore. Maybe he slims down and plays on the end. I think he had 2 sacks last year. I think he played a little bit better on the outside. He's just not quite as big as these NFL guys. He could play inside in college, but I don't know if he can get it done in the NFL. Marcel, we need to keep drafting players from big name school. The Sixers do the same as well. Yeah, it's a little bit different in basketball, but you're right. Look at Kentucky guard Tyrese Maxey. Before I even knew anything really about him, I said, "Oh, he's from Kentucky." I love Kentucky ball players, right? For sure, and definitely with the with the SEC. Like, look, we drafted Alabama and Georgia guys, and look how it's changed our roster already. We should have been doing that. Smith route runner is definitely better than Harrison right now. Oh, my man going out on a limb. Bino said, stamp that. Sydney Boy said, yes, update on Mario Goodrich, Strong, Covey, and Brooks. Um, I mean, I haven't heard too much of Mario Goodrich. Strong is actually impressive. As much as Jalen Hurts is getting kudos from the coaching staff of his new throwing motion and this, that, and the third, Carson Strong is getting some high praises. And same with Covey. Brian Westbrook has co-signed for Britton Covey. The Eagles has used him as wide receiver. They used him on go routes, slant routes, in breaking, out breaking. They got this man playing special teams. I talked about this before you got on, Sydney Boy. But Britton Covey, I don't know how to say his name exactly. He's one of the guys that looks like this. The Eagles are trying to make sure it gets on the roster. We got an abundance of wide receivers, but he might be a little secret weapon that we keep. Philly take with RB in the building. Very early record prediction. Yeah, he gonna put me on the spot. Listen, I think we got a collab coming within the next couple days. Definitely go check out my guy Philly take with RB. Eagles, Sixers, talks about it all as well. Like I said, we got a collab coming very soon. I did my record prediction already, right? When I went over the schedule, I was like bang, bang, boom, 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 bang, 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 boom, boom, 12 wins. But then I said, okay, there's always a time where a win we think we're going to win is a loss, and a loss is a win. So when I did the schedule without counting, I just said win, loss, win, loss, loss. I said, dang, I got 12. That's how favorable the schedule is. I took a step back to just be, let me see, because we didn't have James Bradbury at the time. And I said 11 wins. So I predicted, I went through and said 12. I said, let me drum back one and be safe. I said 11. So my very early record prediction is 11-6. Again, though, we have the tools, we have the players, we have the schedule, we have the system to make that 11-5 even better. But as of now, I'm going to stay true to my 11-6 take. But when I was going through it, not really seeing, not trying to let numbers defer me, I got 12. So maybe I still, as we get closer to the season, training camp comes down, we start to hear the real nitty gritty, see how we compete with Cleveland, who got a decent squad over there, see how we compete with Miami, who got corners. So they're going to test our wide receivers, and their wide receivers will definitely test our corners. That's what I can't wait to see. The actual, the collab team training camp, whatever you call that thing. I forgot how it's called. Because Miami's going to send Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle at Bradbury and Slay. And then they're going to send Xavier Rhodes and their other cornerback. Is it still the guy from the Cowboys? What's his name? Somebody in the comment section, let me know who the opposite corner to Xavier Rhodes is. Is it still... Dang, I can't think of his name, but he was an ex-Cowboy. With that being said, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are going to get competition. Then you flip it over to Cleveland, and they might not got the wide receivers to really... Amari Cooper is over there. But besides Amari Cooper, they might have the wide receivers, but they got DBs and Greedy and I forgot the other one as well. It's about that time, though. It's 9:30. And again, for those who didn't know, I did that NBA Finals game last night. So you guys know the NBA Finals didn't end till damn near almost 11:45. By the time I went to bed, it was like 12:30, and I had to wake up at 4 in the morning. And I got to wake up at 4 in the morning one more time. The weekend is coming. Byron Jones. Shout out to Jason Rhodes. He was the first one. Wayne Webb, Dante Coates. Everybody else said it. Larry Jackson said Byron Maxwell. Trashwell. He was crazy for us. That was bad. That was a bad time. Martin Lynn said, I want the front office to sign a bruiser back as well. Add more depth to the D line before they trade for or sign a safety. I don't know if they actually do it, right? Think about this. Cedric Wilson is another receiver that they have in the slot, so it's going to test out Avonte Maddox. Again, I think joint training camp, is that's the word I wanted to say, with the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns is going to be high quality competition. Guys are going to be playing for a lot of stuff, so it's going to be very, very interesting. With that being said, hit that like button if you haven't done it. The more likes, the better. Much love. Support your bro. Subscribe if you are new. And listen, if you don't have that notification bell hit, click that bell because we will be dropping videos, live stream, call-ins, all that stuff. Still Eagles from today until July 26th. There's no football. Training camp don't start till July 26th, but I will be doing film reviews on the Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, even Jalen Hurts, good stuff, bad stuff. We will have everything still. We will still keep it Philly, Sixers, and Eagles all through the months of June. A lot of stuff to still talk about. Battles that should be happening, will be happening, call-ins and all that. I appreciate you guys. We're going to talk a little bit more before I get up out of here. 148 people still in the building. What do you think of Kennedy Brooks? I think he has an outside chance to make the roster. Again, health has been a problem for our running backs. I think that's one of the reasons why Jordan Howard is not going to be coming back. His health. Miles Sanders can't stay healthy, and can you really rely on just Gainwell and Scott? So I think Brooks might have an opportunity throughout the season. I do want a bruiser back. Let me ask you guys this. Just give me a yes or no. We don't got to get in particular about the positions. And as Wayne Webb said, Cindy Boy said, I'm being greedy to think Bates and Quinn. Let me know this. The Eagles post June 1st have a total of $13 million in cap space. Do you think the Eagles will, not should, but will go into the season with the full $13 million and not make any more moves? Or do you think the Eagles spend on an extra defensive end, an extra safety, an extra piece somewhere? You can just say, stay with the money or spend some of the money. So you don't have to say who you think they're actually going to get. But I want to get the temperature in the room. Are we going to add somebody or are we going to save in case we need to, what if we're really winning games and we want to make something happen at the trade deadline? What if somebody gets injured and we can add somebody? Let me know. No, they making more moves. We got one more move left. So Larry, you said those guys. Hang on. First one that said save was D. Smith. No, I'm thinking he says save. SB said save. Sydney Boy said maybe one more move. Mr. 89 said stay with the money because the train left. Now we build chemistry. Yeah, as of now, I mean, look, if somebody opens up and there's a piece that Howie's like, oh boy, this is going to add it and we can get a good deal. Again, the longer somebody sits in free agency, at least, the cheaper they are. Guys like Jesse Bates and guys you got to trade for, they never really get cheaper because trading for somebody, there's no such thing as getting cheaper. With that being said, I'm thinking that the Eagles are happy with what they got and they're going to save. Not saying they can't make a move. Howie Roseman is one of the most aggressive GMs in the league. You saw, trading for Golden Tate, trading for Darius Slade, trading for Jay Ajayi, trading for this, that, and the third. So don't be surprised if the Eagles are winning, but we can clearly see there's a deficiency in either offense or defense. We don't go out there and make a move. Williamson, thank you for your hard work and analysts on the Eagles, enjoying your content all the way out here in South Korea. William Shin, appreciate the love, appreciate the support, and salute to you being an Eagle fan all the way out there. Fly, Eagles, fly. That's what we do. We will have a lot more live streams. We won't just be dropping the videos, but I appreciate you. Show enough. Haven't seen you in a minute. Again, I haven't done a live stream in a minute. Said spend. But it won't be a big move, though. Okay, some little piece to sure up something. Force to stay. Roll with Epps. Could pick up someone who gets cut by another team. Yes, you got to think after training camp. Again, that could be another small spend. Shout out to Show Enough. Shout out to Forest Hill. Think about this. If there is a team that has players at this position that are good. 4 of them, but they only need to keep 3 of them. And then they cut one. Well, now there's a guy who wasn't on the market, who is on the market. Maybe he's a dead piece, as Show Enough or Forrest Hill just said. And then the Eagles say, 1-year deal, $2 million. Does that really cut into anything? If we go into the 2022 NFL season with 13 million or 11 million, what's the real big difference? So I think that the Eagles are looking to save. I think that if we get closer to training camp, if an injury happens and or somebody gets cut, if you can get a guy right before or in the middle of camp for $1 or $2 million, if that's something you think can help this football team, then you go ahead and do it. Um, I agree that right now I'm saying stay, and I agree that the only way we get somebody is if we end up doing what most of you guys are saying. Uh, I hear that. Martin Lynch said, "What do you think about the Coldplay singing 'Fly Eagles Fly' at their concert?" That junk was trizash. That was trash. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Top 3 Eagles of all time, according to you. Top 3 Eagles just for me liking. Brian Dawkins, number 1. I don't know what you're talking about, Jason Rhodes. Is it for me liking or just overall skills? Again, Reggie White is probably the best Eagle ever. But I didn't get to watch him that much. Of course, me being a guy who's always learning about the history, I went back and watched, but I'm 31 years old, so I wasn't really watching. I wasn't cheering for Reggie in my prime of rooting for the team. So Reggie's up there, and Brian Dawkins is another one I love. And I was a big fan of McNabb. That little new story came out, kind of hurt my feelings. Nick Foles always going to be loved to me because he got me this. Because he got us this. But it's probably going to be Reggie, Brian Dawkins, and then I was a big Westbrook fan too, but there's a lot of them, man. I love a lot of Eagles. It's tough. It's tough. Let me know yours and let me know, my liking. All right, so now if we're going to go just my liking, then it's Brian Dawkins, Brian Westbrook, sheesh. Man, I wanted to say McNabb so bad because that was my whole childhood. It's tough. Brian Dawkins, Brian Westbrook, and I don't know, probably just go Zach Ertz for everything he put in. Zach Ertz, maybe for everything he put in. He was also a part of that Super Bowl run. Foles is low key there too, just because he got us the ring, man. You gotta love it. LD, so what are your thoughts on Fletch or Hargrave at defensive end in certain situations to keep Davis on the field? LD, I don't know if you've been watching some of my live streams with Laura Brunson. I said that in GOAT Talk, and a couple times in my videos, I said that. I haven't heard too many people say that, but I've been saying that Hargrave is a guy that you can bounce out every now and then. Can he play outside all the time? No, but you can do that in certain packages to keep Davis on the field. And I am a firm believer that Davis will be on the field more than anybody thinks right now. And Davis will have a bigger impact in the pass rush game than people think. I might be wrong. And if I am, I'll come out here and admit it. But if I'm right, I was the first one to say that stuff as heavy as I am. I said it from day one that, yes, he's not meant to come in here and be a pass rusher if you're watching a tape of Georgia. But I think he's much more than that. I've seen things that he can do with his swim move, with his feet, with his power, with his the bend, the stunts, his lateral quickness, his get up. I'm just saying. Richie MC in the building. What's up with you, my guy? Oh, hold up. Eagle Slayer said McNabb is nothing more than a little punk. Like I said, that story definitely made me feel some type of way. Reese, what's up with you, my guy? Whoa. LA Flow said Brandon Graham and Brian Dawkins are the heart of the Eagles mindset. Man, yeah, BG. It's hard to keep them off the list, too. I might have to. It's tough. That top 3 is hard. Hard. Shady, Macklin, D-Jack, Selleck, and Young Ertz and Vic. Quarterback was legit scary. Yeah, we had the opportunity to win it all there. Listen, I wasn't doing YouTube back in 2014, 13, 14, whatever. No, not 14. What was it? 2010-11 season, the year that the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl. I said to all my friends, to everybody that will listen, because I wasn't doing YouTube back then. I was in my 20s. I said, Eagles, Packers, wild card weekend. Whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl. I didn't necessarily say they were going to win the Super Bowl. I said they were going to the Super Bowl. And that game was neck and neck. Vic dropping back, not on third down, throws a deep ball to Riley stinking Cooper, and Tramon Williams gets the interception. We lose by 4. In that game, David Akers missed a field goal, and we lost by 4 to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers go ahead and smack the Falcons. They smack whatever other team they played, I forgot. They beat both them by double digits, and then they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. And I really honestly miss. Jason Rhodes said 2 field goals. I really honestly thought that whoever won that game, Eagles, Packers, was going to the Super Bowl. I felt it. That team was legit. Bring back memories. LD said, toss me a wrench if possible. I can't do it on StreamYard, but I got you, bro. I got you. Next time you get on here, you'll have a wrench. Listen, you want that wrench? Turn notifications on. Turn post notifications on. So when I go live, which will be, again, soon with another topic, maybe with a different content creator, I get you the wrench, my guy. Appreciate you for coming in, though. Yeah, that whole Kelly trade scenario was horrible, too. But listen, Jason Kelce is being your favorite Sexton is listen, I love Jason Kelce. Again, it's really, really hard to look at a top 3 Eagles because, again, I'm 31 years old, and I became a fan around 98. I was born 91. Yeah, I was wearing Eagle T-shirts at the age of 4, 5, and 6, but was I really watching the game? Like 7 and 8 is when I really start watching the game and understanding a little bit what's going on. I was playing a little flag football myself and blah, blah, blah. Man, so it's tough. The Westbrooks, the Dawkins. I love the Deuce, Asante Samuels. I did love Donovan. I like Foles. I like Kelsey's, Ertz, Brandon Graham. I was a Trent Cole fan. I was a Jeremiah Trotter guy. You know, it was a lot of stuff. But I appreciate everybody coming through. Listen, Akers, a legendary kicker, even though he missed those field goals. I agree with all you guys. Listen, though, shout out to everybody in the chat. We've been live for an hour and 17 minutes. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, right? It's easy. It's free. Don't cost a thing, and it shows you support your boy. Also, I know you already subscribe, but most of y'all subscribe. But that bell in the corner, see that bell right there? If you click it, when I drop a video, you know. When I go live, you know. So you could come through. Because, again, sometimes at the end, we get off script. But earlier in this stream, we talked about the winners and losers of OTAs. We also talked about that whole punk narrative about Hurts and AJ Brown not having chemistry. That's cap. Big cap. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. I appreciate y'all. Again, I was up till 12 o'clock last night, got up at 4 in the morning. I got to get up at 4 in the morning again. I got to go to sleep early tonight. Much love, much respect. I appreciate all you guys. Joe Ennis just jumping in. Philly Fan D channel member. LA Flow, LD. One of all above. King Swag, Forrest, Martin, Richie. I appreciate y'all. But until next time, we are out.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we scream and fly, eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is